Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important concept related to navigate.route method, where we will talk how to move to a particular child route with a parameter. So basically in this session we are going to talk about how to navigate to a child route with some parameter value. Prior to this session we talked about moving to a route, right, with parameter also, but this time we need a specific route where we want to navigate to a child route. So to explain this thing, we will go in the same way. Like firstly I'll explain you the requirement. According to the requirement we will discuss the prerequisites, then we will write the logic and verify the output. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to navigate to a child route using with a parameter. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Here you can see we have one heading that shows Angular 19 course by Sharmit. Post that we will put here primary heading that will show you the title of today's session. So here I will write navigate to child route with parameter using navigate dot route method. So this is our requirement, okay, in Angular. So this is our today's session. Alright, now to separate out this thing with the actual content, we will use one horizontal row over here and then we will write the logic. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about the prerequisites. So prerequisites are like we need some components. So here you can see we have couple of components. We have about component, contact component and services. This is also a component, okay, don't get confused between services. This is just a name of the component, that is services. Now what we will do, in case let's say if you don't know how to create component, let me give you the command. You just need to write here ng for Angular, G generate, C component and name of the component. So suppose I want to create a about component. So if you run this command, it will create this folder for you with all these 4 files. Okay, likewise for contact, you can make it as contact, you can make it as services. This is up to you. Now once the component is created, post that I just changed the HTML file. Here by default it comes with about works, but I changed it to about page. Okay, so this is ready. Now next what we are going to do, post that we will write the logic for configuring all these route. So for that let's go to app.route.ts file. Here we have this array, and in this array we will define the path. So let's one by one define the path. Here firstly I will write path colon, then we will write here contact. Okay, but not contact. Here I want to go in a different way. Like firstly I want to go to about, then there should be ID, then there should be contact. So this should be my URL. Okay, about slash ID, let's say 123 and contact. Okay, so this is the requirement, and here we will assign the component, that is contact component. Perfect. Then we will set the second path colon, here we will write contact comma component colon contact component. Okay, then we will set the third, that is path. Okay, and here we will write services, then comma, here we will write component colon services component. Services component. Okay, then you can put a comma over here. Alright, so this part is ready. Like we have configured all these things. Now it's time to configure the app.component.ts file. So we will go to that file, app.component.ts. Here I will define router outlet. In this example we don't need a router link. Okay, we will simply use router outlet. Okay, once router outlet is added, it will automatically import it here. If not, you have to import it. Okay, Now here we will write a logic, or you can say the method, that will help us to go to that path. Okay, so for that what I'll do now, I'll expand this thing. Here I will give the name. Firstly we will define the constructor for the router. Okay, so we need a router, right? So private, then we will write here router : router. Once you press enter, it is imported here. Okay, this is important. Okay, so router is added. Now you can put opening closing parenthesis, then we will write the method. So method name would be go to child with parameter. Okay, so I will just write with para, or with id, maybe we can write go to child with id. So this is my method name, and here I will assign the type of this id as number. Then we will put a curly braces, then we will write here this dot router.navigate, then opening closing parenthesis square bracket, then we will write here slash about comma id comma, then we will write here single quotes, inside that we will write here contact, and then we will put a semicolon. Okay, so this is a method that we will be executing. Now to execute this method, let's go to app.component.html file. Here I will just write a simple button. So button, in button we will write here go to child route with id. Okay, so here we will write the method. So click, then method name is go to child with id, in parenthesis we will pass the id, that is 1 to 3. Okay, so what we did here, we just created one button that will help us to click on that button, and it will take us to that particular path which we have defined in the route.ts app.component.ts file. Also we will add here router outlet, because this will help us to display the things. So this part is done, but at the end where we are going, let's go to the configure file just to show you route file. So here you can see at the end we are going to contact page. Now here we should write some logic that will help us to grab that value that we are sending. Okay, so for that let's go to contact.component.ts. Here firstly like we will define one constructor. So expand it, constructor for private route, and here we will write activated route, and this activated route will help us to fetch that particular value. So here we will write ng on init, opening closing parenthesis colon, then we will write here void curly braces this dot user id. Oh, we forgot to define that now, so let's define it. User id string colon, here we will write user id equal this dot route dot snapshot dot param map. If you don't know about this thing, it's simple a line that will help us to get that particular value that we are passing to this particular route. Okay, and like this. Okay, and also here like we can write something like this. Perfect. So this method is ready. Now once we have received it, it's time to print it also. So we will write here parameter received, and here we will write double curly braces user id. That's it. Now you can save it. Let's run the application. So ng serve -- open enter, wait for a few seconds, and then it will show you the output in the browser. So we can see we have this Angular 19 course by Sharmit. Then we have navigate to child route with parameter using navigate.route method in Angular. Okay, I hope I put the name correct. It should be router.navigate, not navigate.route. We made a mistake, so we need to fix it. And to fix it, you can simply go to this area, and here it should be router.navigate. what? Router.Navigate. So this should be the method name. Okay, fine, I made the correction. Now you can see in the browser it is coming properly. Navigate to child route with parameter using Router.Navigate method in Angular, and we have one button that will help us to go to child route with ID. So once I click here, you can see I'm on the child route, that is contact, and also we are able to print or receive the value of the parameter, that is 123. Okay, so this is how it works. And in this session we talked about a method where we can navigate to a child route with the parameter. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.